What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Thank God for Wrestling podcast. I'm host one of two, Johnny King.
Host two of two, CJ McClure.
And boy, do we have some stuff to talk about today. We wanted to make a video just addressing Mr. Phil Brooks, Mr. CM Punk. So there's a lot of stuff that's been going around. Obviously, we know he's been fired from All Elite Wrestling. Tony Khan released a statement last week saying that he had to do what he had to do. So obviously we know the brawl out situation last year happened. Him and the league got into it. And then, he came back. He hasn't been on the best behavior, firing shots at Hangman Adam Page. Got into a little backstage scrummage at All In with Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And then reports came out that he decided to lunge at Tony Khan, which I don't know why he did that, but that was the last straw, apparently, for Mr. Khan, and he ended up firing CM Punk. So, CJ, what do you think about the situation? I'm just cut to the chase. Do you think Punk is coming back to WWE, man?
Absolutely not.
You don't
No.
think so?
No.
Bro, okay.
He's not coming back. Because for starters, guys in WWE don't want him back. They don't. But on that note, let me just address a report that came out. Supposedly, Punk was open to return at the Royal Rumble last year, and then
Mhm.
he would have feuded with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Do I think that would have been awesome? Yeah. I think the promos between them would have been awesome, and it overall would have been a good match, even though Punk is slower. But do I think Punk is coming back? Chances are no. No, I do not. But with that being said, in WWE and in the wrestling industry, anything can happen. So I think a lot of eyes will be on the Royal Rumble coming January. And although Hunter and Phil don't never really liked each other in real life, I do think Hunter would be able to put his personal feelings aside for what's best for business
Yeah.
if he came back. But realistically, I don't think it's going to happen. And quite frankly, I do appreciate what Punk has done as a wrestler in like throughout WWE history. I mean, Pipe Bomb got people back into WWE, got people back into wrestling. 5-star match with John Cena in his hometown. A great, for the most part, a great WWE championship reign. 434 days, I think, or something like that. I mean, Punk has always been good on the mic, but and this is interesting that we're talking about this because we don't really talk about AEW much on this channel just because time and we're WWE guys. Respect to AEW, but from what I've seen in AEW, because I have always relatively kept up with them, Punk has slowed down, man. He's slowed down.
Yeah.
He's not what he used to be. I think when he originally came into WWE for his first stint, he was still moving pretty good. I don't know what happened when he got suspended, essentially, but I know that's a super long answer. No, I do not think he's coming back.
Hey, bro. Hey, listen. We're gonna see Punk back in WWE, brother. Survivor Series is in Chicago. If you don't think for a second, listen, the Endeavor deal will be finalized, bro. Punk has already worked for Ari Emanuel when he was in UFC. And if you don't think that Ari Emanuel will write Punk a check to imagine all the eyes on WWE if Punk resigns with WWE and comes back. And do you think that Triple H will not let Punk go into the ring with the mic in his hand to bury AEW and Tony Khan? Money talks, bro. Money talks, brother.
I agree with that. But what the reason I don't think that's going to happen is because of Punk himself, because of how bitter he is. And we'll get into the drama between him and the elite and backstage and all that, but Punk is bitter. That is an undisputed fact. There's not a perfect person in this room, don't get me wrong, but Punk is bitter. And I think the to your point, I think the odds of him coming back are a little higher because Vince isn't in charge, but it doesn't change the fact that him and Hunter never really got along. But to your point, eyes on Survivor Series for sure. But let's just talk about that hypothetical. Punk comes back, gets a microphone in his hand because he can still cut a promo, and he can cut a promo better than a good match that he can put on. I'd just be very curious to see how much like Triple H and even Nick Khan, for that matter, would let him get away with talking about AEW. Would it just be a complete shoot?
Bro, I
Say
think
whatever say whatever you want.
Triple H, he gives Punk the mic before he goes out. Say whatever you want as long as it's in the grasp of WWE. Don't go crazy, but speak your mind. You can talk about AEW, talk about Tony Khan. I don't care. Just get eyes on our product. And you know Punk will go out there and give us the promo of the year, bro.
Just feel like, but that's also I don't want to put cheap and Triple H in the same sentence, but at the same time, even Hunter's thrown a couple digs at AEW here and there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying he would not care. He would anything to take eyes away from AEW and get fans to not watch AEW, bro. Hunter is here for it, brother.
True. I mean, and he did call them a pissant company in the
And
DX Hall of Fame speech, and he even threw a slight dig at them in the Cody doc for those of you that
it's
watch
secondary
when he called
company.
them secondary company, which I shouldn't really be surprised by because Hunter's of course going to be loyal to his company. I mean, WWE is the reason he's successful, but and again, am I going to pick WWE over AEW? Sure, but I mean, I still respect AEW. I respect some of the stuff that they've done before it's gotten out of control the past year. But we'll see, man. I mean, yes, I think Triple H could put his feelings aside for business, but it's also stars don't want Punk back. Like Seth Rollins called him a poison. I don't think Seth's really wrong with what he said.
He might not be, but what I'm in so in AEW, obviously their locker room can do whatever they want. Tony Khan doesn't have any say so over them, bro. He's like a little kid. He can't tell the locker room what to do. But the locker room will listen to Triple H. That's why you never hear about locker room problems within WWE because everyone is mature and they know that we work with you. I might not like you, but we were working together. Now, if Punk comes back, I do not think he would do the same stuff that he would do in AEW because he simply would know that he just wouldn't be able to get away with it. He would
I
not
mean,
test Triple H like he tested Tony Khan. There's a reason.
right. I mean,
Like, come on, bro.
yeah, I mean, I've heard a few stories of like Punk getting in like a little bit of tense moments in WWE in the locker room. Like one story, I don't know if you know this, when he was the world heavyweight champion, I think in '09 or '08, I think 2009, this happened. They were on a tour, I think in Europe, and Undertaker actually approached him and said, "You being the world champion, you shouldn't really be dressed this way. You should change that up." And then Punk honestly made kind of a good point and said, John Cena wears bright shirts and jorts, and he's the WWE champion. And you're
Mhm.
telling me to change my attire? There's some truth to that. I can't argue that, but I think there was a bit of a like kind of a heated moment because I was like, dude, you said that to Taker. He's a locker room leader. But Taker and Punk never had beef after that either. I mean, and maybe that just goes to show that Taker probably saw merit in it, and Taker's also just mature. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, very rarely did he let his ego run wild. But no, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you rarely heard about Punk getting a lot of issues in WWE backstage. But I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But I feel like if he doesn't return to Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble, WWE is going to get crapped on for it because I feel like us fans kind of fall. Like, for example, Rock wasn't in the Royal Rumble this year because everyone thought, we were going to get Rock versus Roman. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Now all eyes are on WWE to get Punk. Well, what if it doesn't happen?
Now, say he does return Royal Rumble Survivor Series. Who do you want to see him feud with first?
First, probably Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Especially because
Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, but I would probably actually pick Seth first to tell you the truth.
honestly, I wouldn't even want him to come near Roman Reigns. You're not even going to be able to be in the same room as Roman Reigns, Punk.
Think it'd be interesting to see Punk and Roman cut promos against each other because Roman has gotten better the past few years. I think comparing all the Shield members, though, when it comes to cutting promos, Roman's still at the bottom. That's my hot take. But he's gotten better. He's just still at the bottom comparing to the Shield.
I don't
But
know though, bro, because his tribal chief stuff is, bro. It's second to none, bro.
is that a testament of the promo or is that just a testament of his character?
But his promos have gotten better, and his character have gotten better because of his promos. You know.
It's a fair point. And I think Paul Heyman has to do with that too. I'm sure
Of
he's
course.
taught Roman a thing too. But I'd have to go with Seth Rollins. I think I say that just because when Punk signed that deal with that on Fox, the WWE backstage, the talk
Mhm.
show, Seth tweeted, "I got first, I got next."
Mhm.
And then I remember they had a CM Punk chant after Survivor Series of 2019 that year. And he goes, "I try to get him, guys. I try to get him." Looking back on it, that was probably just a tease because
Yeah.
Punk ended up revealed that his contract was with Fox, not WWE. But I probably had to say Seth Rollins. And I say Seth Rollins too, just because I think the one or two times they did have a one-on-one match when they were both in the same company was on Raw when Seth was in the Shield. And it was a fairly good match from what I remember. Now imagine how much better it's going to be now because of how much better Seth has gotten.
Yeah. Now a lot of people want Austin to come back and have Punk versus Austin at WrestleMania 40. Like
No.
you'd be surprised. This is like everyone's dream match: Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro.
And I understand that. Of course it's a dream match, but it's a dream match for a reason. Leave Steve alone.
Yeah,
Leave him
bro.
alone. He really shouldn't have even came back for the match against Kevin Owens. Now it was good for Steve's age. It was
Mhm.
good with like I actually was satisfied with what we got. I was impressed with what we got. Leave Steve alone though. I
Yeah,
mean that was a Vince decision. I don't Hunter's obviously not perfect as a booker, but I don't think he would be as foolish enough to ask Austin to come back one more time. Maybe we get a segment, bring Steve back for an episode of Raw, and we can have another segment between them because we got a couple back, I think, in 2011, right for Punk won the WWE Championship. I'd love to see a promo segment, but leave Steve alone, man. Especially like I said, Punk has slowed down. There's a reason it was a good match because Owens is in his prime. Punk is not.
yeah. Now listen, say Punk does come back, right? And say somehow the writer strike is still going on and John Cena decides to stay. Would you be down for one last Punk and Cena feud?
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
because they,
Crazy, bro. That'd be crazy.
yeah, because they've always had good chemistry and they actually are friends in real life. They've always been friends. Like even when Punk cut that promo, the pipe bomb, and said that you're better at kissing Vince McMahon's than I am. I mean, they were still friends. Like John Cena has regarded Punk as one of the most misunderstood people ever.
Mhm.
So I'm just curious of what it is that John sees in them. But they've always been friends. Like the 10-year anniversary of their 5-star match, like John tweeted at Punk and said, "Thank you for letting me be a part of something special."
Mhm.
To quote Michael Cole, there's very few times where the stars align, and that match in Money in the Bank between the two was one of those moments. It's the only 5-star match of both men's careers.
Yep.
And I mean, and I think what's crazy, just going a quick sidebar, Punk said on that backstage show years ago that the match he's the most proud of is actually a match they had on Raw in 2013 when Punk challenged him for his spot against The Rock at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
When Punk hit the pile driver and John Cena hit the Hurricane Rana.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'd probably have to be a little bit of a sucker for that. I mean, I know they both slowed down, but they've always had good chemistry. They've always had good segments and a good rivalry because they're friends. I mean, I could get down with that if that happened.
Now imagine, bro, imagine Punk comes back. They put him in a program with Cody Rhodes. The promos that could be the story that could be told, the promos that could be cut, I think could be money. But there are rumors that the reason why Cody left was because of Punk, because he saw the writing on the wall and he just wanted to get out of there. But I don't know, man. I think if Punk comes back, they put him in a program with Cody Rhodes, and that will give Cody more time to buy before WrestleMania. And we know that those two will be able to make some great television, bro. Imagine Punk saying, I came, helped the company, you left. Then I decided to come back to the company that I made what it is today. The company that you couldn't become world champion in, but I did.
And Cody can say, I main evented WrestleMania.
Yep.
You didn't.
Yep.
And I just find it interesting that AEW makes them sign those non-disclosure agreements. Like even when they leave the company, they can't talk about like a lot of inside stuff. Like all Cody said on the documentary was he left because of a personal issue. Might be Punk. We don't know for sure. Which and so remind me, so Punk and Cody were in WWE briefly at the same. I'm sorry, AEW at the same time.
Yeah, Cody did not fully leave yet. Punk came in 2020, 2021, summer 2021, in that June, and Cody was still there. Yeah.
That's right, because Cody left early 2022 and then pulled up at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Which so transitioning to that, let's just go back to AEW real quick. It's like a little bit of devil's advocate. Yeah, Punk's gone, but so are the ratings for Collision.
Bro, they made that whole show was for Punk, bro. Obviously, no one's gonna watch it anymore if Punk's not on it. He was the reason why they made the show in the first place. The only people that were on Collision were people who agreed that they would work with CM Punk.
I agree with that, but is it a hot take to say that Punk is a draw?
No, he is a draw. Punk is
Okay,
definitely a draw because we know that with Punk comes drama, and everybody loves drama.
that's true. That- that's true. So, I mean, this has been going on so long with AEW, with Punk and Adam Page and the Elite. Something I couldn't help but notice when Punk came back was in a couple of his feuds, like Eddie Kingston and then Adam Page for the AEW Championship. They were bitter towards Punk. So I mean, I couldn't help but notice if or wonder is the right word if that's just the ideas they came up with to say to Punk or if they really didn't want Punk there because Eddie Kingston said nobody wants you here, and Adam Page said I'm protecting AEW from you.
No, I'm pretty sure like that was real, bro. Because they don't like Punk to begin with, like in general, like in real life, they don't like Punk.
I thought I saw reports saying that maybe that was an idea that Adam Page ran by Punk to say, but then Punk just still took it the wrong way, which
Yeah,
is why like the drama between him and Adam Page started. And I can't help but also bring up to kind of tie all this together. You know, Moxley is probably never going to go back to WWE, at least not anytime soon, because he signed that extension. But Moxley even said that of all the wrestling companies I've been in, this is the most drama I've ever like seen in the back.
bro. It's because Tony can't keep them straight, bro. Like, who's listening to Tony Khan? Like, actually, like if Tony Khan comes up to you and gives you an order, are you gonna listen to him? No, because he looks like he's a 12-year-old boy, dude. Tony Khan is a wrestling fan. He's not a wrestling company owner. He acts like a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have some sort of authority and governance over the roster. You can't give them so much freedom like they do.
Yeah.
Um, and although Punk is bitter, I'd like to think that he is defending himself a little bit. Like, there's got to be some truth to some of the stuff that he said about like the VPs and some of the guys going in business for themselves. Because I mean, because again, Tony can't lay down the law. So like, I can see the elite and their ego running a little bit wild.
Oh, for sure. And especially since the elite don't really like anyone that comes from WWE in the first place. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I think
Like,
we can just all agree that AEW just like as a whole, like it's not just Punk. Like Punk leaving isn't going to fix the AEW drama.
oh no. Because the drama's not even just in the men's locker room, it's the women's locker room too. Like there's been so many reports saying the women's locker room is political. If you're not on in like a clique, then you're not gonna get any TV time. And honestly, they're not wrong.
So I mean, WWE's always had the up in that area. No crazy backstage drama.
Yeah. And
I
they're
mean, if there
yeah, keep going, you're good.
that's just if there is any like remote drama, like if they're raising their voice or arguing, it's usually because it's out of passion.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one back, like we talked about it, like for one weekly recap, like when the Judgment Day and Seth, Sammy, and Kevin, I think it was one of the 6-man tag matches. There was a couple botches, and they got mad that they messed it up, and like they weren't really mad at each other. They were just mad that they didn't do what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's just because of their passion. Because I mean, wrestlers are their biggest critics.
Yeah.
You know, then you got Punk, you know, telling Jack Perry, "Don't do this. It's unsafe." Which you know what? Looking back on it, I can maybe see a little bit why Punk said that, but at the same time, it's like it's not your match. Like I get it. Like and so okay, well if that wasn't safe with the glass, and why didn't you tell Moxley to not use the skewers?
Very true.
So I mean, and maybe it was also Punk's delivery. I mean, we don't know. We weren't there, but maybe he could have went about it a better way, telling Jack Perry that, and Jack Perry wouldn't have given him the finger.
Bro, people say that Tony Khan is this happened in Gorilla. They said that Tony Khan was literally sitting right there and did nothing to stop it, bro. Because Tony Khan was probably as scared as everybody else was, dude. He's just, yeah, he just has, I don't know, bro. He's just a wrestling. He's even said I'm a wrestling fan, but like, bro, you can't when you own a wrestling company, you can't treat the stars like you're like a fan of them. You know what I mean? Like those are your employees, bro. There has to be some level of respect there.
Triple H is a wrestling fan, but he'll lay down the law.
Yeah, and you'll listen to Triple H because he'll make you listen to him.
Mhm. Like, people respect Triple H. People don't respect Tony Khan.
Yeah, no. But like, if you don't think that CM Punk isn't already in talks with WWE, bro, I don't know, bro. I think he's plotting it right now, dude. He has to be.
We'll see. I just I hate that I've been a hater saying that Rock isn't coming back and Punk's not coming back. I mean, that's just me being realistic. We'll see
Now,
what
I
happens. But
see a more possibility of Punk coming back than Rock coming back for sure.
yeah, I think that's just also not saying much. I mean, I'm not saying Punk can't do anything outside of wrestling, but just I mean, Dwayne's up here, right, in Hollywood. And
Yeah.
there's a reason I can't remember the reason. There's a reason he hasn't come back because of the actor strike going on. There's actually I read something, I forgot. There's something why he can't come back and John could.
He's
But
actually they interviewed him for the Kurt doc, actually. The Rock.
really,
He's in there a lot, dude.
I okay, that's good to know. But we'll see. But to your point on WWE wrestlers being more professional, I'd like to think that worst comes to worst, Hunter just has a meeting and he's like, look, this is what is going to help us whether we like it or not. I'm not asking you to like him, but I'm asking you to be professional by asking if you to work with him.
Mhm. Yeah, man. This is gonna be like a very eventful Survivor Series into Royal Rumble season, bro. Yeah, bro. I don't know, man. Like even in when Punk took his little hiatus from AEW when he was suspended, he tried to go back to. Remember, he was backstage. He was trying to get backstage at Raw. He was trying to make
Was I
amends.
That was actually the last thing I wanted to bring up about my thoughts was when I think Raw was in Chicago, Punk tried to get in, and apparently the reports were that Punk, I think, was trying to make amends to Triple H,
Uh-huh.
and maybe he genuinely did miss the WWE, and I guess like Triple H like reached out to Vince, be like, "Hey, is this okay?" And Vince said like, I think Vince said no, and then Punk had to leave, like be escorted out. Not that there's any drama, but yeah, maybe Punk has kind of turned a new leaf in that area with towards Hunter and WWE.
And based off how many times Punk has gotten into stuff, I feel like he might have tried to get fired from AEW, bro. Like who just decides to try to fight their boss? You know what I mean?
That's true, but then why did he come back in the first place then?
Maybe he thought that he would like it there. Turns out he didn't like it. So he was like, what can I do to get away? You know what I mean?
We shall see. It's going to be an interesting next few months.
Yeah. We're gonna see, guys. We appreciate you guys for watching this drama-filled video, man. We just wanted to touch on it because it's the biggest subject in pro wrestling right now. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you all in the next one, man.
You guys for watching as always. We'll see you in the dream match video we got coming up. Thank God for wrestling.
All right.